As development continues in Guyana, more attention is being placed on ensuring that the country's labor force remains strong and with adequate skills. Thousands of youths as well as single parents have been benefiting from life skills training under the Board of Industrial Training BIT through the Ministry of Labor, Human Services and Social Security. On July 27, a batch of 355 persons, 185 of whom are single parents from regions 4, 5, 6, and 10, graduated after completing several months of training in various fields such as garment construction, catering, cosmetology, information communication technology, office procedures, mechanic, auto air conditioning, and auto electrical and fuel system diagnostics.
It has been, for me, a distinct honor to be working with so many persons who need a second chance. Who need a second chance. And we have said that, and we've heard the saying that young people are up to no good. They don't have ambition, they don't have drive. Well, Mr. Ramatar, today, we have under the Enhanced Public Trust Security and Inclusion Program in excess of 170 young persons who took opportunity of this second chance to turn their lives around. In this group of graduates here today is another very special group, and those are the single parents. And we're not passing any judgment on why persons are single parents, but we know that, like other vulnerable groups, single parents need us to hold their hands, give them empowerment so that they can in turn lift themselves out of the challenges which they face. And we have these two very special groups of persons graduating.
This initiative is just another testimony of the administration's commitment to reducing poverty and building a stronger workforce. In addition to the training, those who completed training in auto air conditioning, auto electrical and fuel system diagnostics were each given $55,000 worth of tools to start their own business venture.
For the last 5 years, in excess of 5,000 young persons and another 800 single parents have been positively touched by the program of the PPPC administration.
Presidential advisor and PPP presidential candidate Donald Ramatar told the graduates that a country cannot develop to the level it wants unless there is a strong and prosperous workforce.
I want to begin by congratulating all of you who are graduating today and who have taken a positive and correct step in the direction of your life and in the direction of your community and your country.
One of the fundamental principles of the People's Progressive Party civic government is equitable access to education, since the horizon for an educated person is limitless.
In our promises, manifesto promise, we promise to spend $1 billion to assist with the empowerment of vulnerable groups of our population. And we have spent more than that in this last 5 years. In fact, more than $1.5 billion have been spent between the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sports, the Ministry of Health, and, of course, the Board of Industrial Training. Our commitment is firm in this regard. And in the Board of Industrial Training, you will see again that in 2006, the expenditure there was $12 billion, what we could have afforded at the time. This year, they were voted $120 million, and that is the difference, the spending that we have done in the last 5 years. I'm very happy that so many of you have taken advantage of this, because it is very clear that as we go forward, our country will need much skills.
Ramatar urged the graduates to use the skills and knowledge gained to help others to develop to their level. He also encouraged them to be aware of the development taking place in Guyana and to take stock of themselves. The annual budget allocation for BIT has moved from $12 million to $120 million under the People's Progressive Party Civic Administration.
Now that you have taken a very bold step in educating yourselves, I hope and I know that many of you will not only find employment, but many of you will be in a position to generate employment to help other people. And as you go forward in life, to know that the most important thing is to try to give as much as you possibly can. And I hope that this second chance that you have grasped so firmly, that you will use your skills and your knowledge to also try to help and encourage other people who have probably had some difficulties and some unfortunate times in their own lives. Because we want our people to be productive and to be able to build our country. It is, in a way, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? We need to spend more money to develop our people all the time, constantly. And at the same time, we need to have skilled people, educated people, to also develop the country as well. And it is indeed expensive. Sometimes when you just look at the figure, you see it as expensive. But in my view, and in many people's view, it's not my original idea, but you've heard many people saying, if you think education is expensive, try ignorance. That is so true. And that is why we have to do our best, and for you, yourselves, not to see this as an end, but see this as a beginning, that most of you can go on and can reach new heights.
President of the Guyana Manufacturing and Services Association, Clinton Williams, and Officer in Charge of UNDP EPTSI Program, President of the Guyana Manufacturing and Services Association, Clinton Williams, and Officer in Charge of UNDP EPSI Program, Monica Sharma, also congratulated the graduates.
On behalf of the GMSA, and more importantly the private sector community in Guyana, it's indeed my greatest pleasure to congratulate the Board of Industrial Training for staging yet another graduation ceremony for occupational skills development training. Let me begin by reminding you that Guyana's economic development and growth is inextricably linked to its productivity and international competitiveness, which in turn is largely dependent on the country's capacity to build and sustain a competent and efficient labor force.
In addition to providing training, the Ministry of Labor also secures employment opportunities for some of the graduates.
It was quite entrancing, and it was good because as a single parent, we learn things, and then apart from that, we'll able to enchant ourselves in a new world and advent out there. New happening, new beginnings of our life for ourselves and our children.
I guess you're excited.
I'm excited. I feel good because I'm going into my business. I have already named my business Gemini Upscale Up Restaurant. That's the name of my business. I try to advance it, go to the man, get some money, and then start, So I've already named my business.
So what would you say to the people who have to the process?
Well, it was so good for us. It's able to empower us to be independent as foremost, that advantage would not be taken us because we are there and we are on our own and we go forward in the world, make our lives better for ourselves, for our children.
I feel so good because I didn't never know to sew, and I know I could sew even for my grandchildren.
It was good. It was very educated. Nice thing we learned and stuff. Yeah. It was compared to the rest of the classes that we ever went. This was the best one I ever went to.
Over the past 5 years, significant strides were made to further improve the quality of life for many vulnerable citizens. To continue on the path of achieving its promises made to Guyanese in the 2006 manifesto, after being re-elected to office, the People's Progressive Party government invested tangible sum for the betterment of all Guyanese, which is reflected in the annual budgetary allocations and physical transformation of the country's landscape.